Alright, meeting from last month, meeting minutes. Tony motions to accept the minutes from March 4th, 2025 meeting with the amendment to the corrections on the minutes. There was no water report. On the police report, complaints on individuals living in the campers. One was moved off the property, the other will have to cite the owner. The camper is still there and has been advised to move it and still has not. If the camper is not actually being lived in, it can stay on the property. If it is being used as a residence, the camper needs it moved off the property. Arrangements can be made with prior agreements with the town to avoid citations. Cruise-ins. Eddie Thompson asked the town if they would like to make a donation to help with the 2025 cruise-in event to help raise money for the Opera House. There will be a total of 6 cruise-ins. All profits will be donated back to the town for the Opera House Community Center. Council agrees to donate $500 to the cruise-in. Jeff motions, Tony seconds. Students at the Art Council need volunteer hours and need to paint. Would love for the Art Council to put in a mural on the town or a town logo on the Opera House, or get someone that could do this, possibly with a projector, to get this design on the wall. Would be great to do something, being this is our bicentennial for the town of Perrysville with the dates of 1825. Public comments. A resident asked about the galvanized water lines or unknown pipes that need to be replaced. The ones that marked galvanized pipes on their survey are the ones that need to be replaced before the water tower project begins. The town is not responsible for the line from the meter to the home, but the town is responsible for it in this project.
Yes.
Okay, the town would have to pay to replace all those water lines from the meter to the house if it was a part of the project. Replacing them now, the town would not have to pay more during the project to replace those lines then. May 26, 2025, on the 32 bridge at 11 a.m. is the Memorial Day. Mother's Day event is May 10th, Tarquini's. Is there a process to hold an event in the town at any time? As discussed in 2024 with no complaints in this matter, really there is no process to this. The only issue that there could be is parking. Does the town have any suggestions on parking? The town responds to maybe having marshal in town on that day and maybe a few reserve deputies. Make the fire department aware of this event on May 10th. No further business. Meeting was adjourned.
Motion to accept the.
There's one spot in there about the amendment for people staying in campers. We haven't passed that yet.
No, it was just discussed that they could make arrangements. We discussed that.
Okay.
We did discuss that.
Right, but right now there's no arrangements.
Yeah, well, until we actually get the pass an ordinance, it's just kind of a, come in, tell me. Yeah, and it's informal at this point. I guess is what you would say. So.
Are we paying $200 a month for phone?
Yes.
Is that just phone?
Yeah.
Is that AT&T?
Yep.
That's water tower. That's water. That's the well house.
It says town of Perrysville.
Shall we
Then that must be your guys' cell phone.
accept the meeting minutes? Any second?
Second.
All in favor? Ayes. How many you guys say aye?
Aye.
Aye.
Do we have a water report?
No water report.
No water report. Police report.
Several title checks here in town, putting individual with the heads out several times. Let's see, as I said, mentioned earlier, stopped, Miss Barton in reference to letting her grandson drive her car earlier. I didn't catch her allowing it or him driving it, but, she has definitely been made, it's been made perfectly crystal clear what will happen if it occurs again. Also, I prohibited her to allow Blake to drive the mini bike around town
All right, well, we'll start with the fun thing. Our cruise in, the April cruise in was a hit. It was a great success. If you came down to it, we were full, we ran out of room for cars. Luckily, a few left, a few more came in. So all night it was pretty packed. The food vendor there said he did amazing business. Thought it was great. He donated, I don't know the numbers, but he donated money back to the town. It was most people I've ever seen from town at an event. I mean, there were a lot of side-by-sides and golf carts and just people walking in. There were as many vehicles on the outside just coming to attend it as there were parked on the inside.
Huh.
So that was a great event that I think is going to get even bigger. The next one is May 22nd. I have a few flyers if anybody wants one. If you got any place you want to hang one up or anything. So they're May 22nd, June 26th, July 24th, August 28th, and September 25th. It's the fourth Thursday of each month from 5 to 9 p.m. Okay. On that, I spoke with the contractor today. Eddie would like to use the funds toward that he has in excess for the cruise-ins for the Opera House. I mean, that's what it's meant for. He's wanting to work on the front of the building and get that restored. So I spoke with the contractor today. I'm supposed to meet with him tomorrow. It'd be the same contractor that did the floors. And we're looking at repairing. We can't replace the front. We have to repair. So we're looking at using old growth wood. We've got floor joists that we salvaged. I have some old growth wood, local wood that I've salvaged that we're looking at using to keep it all original, or as original as we can keep it. So I don't know numbers on that yet or anything. So we're going to look at it tomorrow and see what has to be done. As he said, it's mainly going to be a labor thing, and he's going to work with us. So we'll see. Hoping to have that done midsummer. Get some glass back in the building and having it looking nice again. Okay.
Do you know what kind of lumber you're looking for, 2x4s or what?
No, I don't have that yet. It's all going to be rough. We're trying to stay with the original material, so wood that was cut down in the 1800s.
Period, correct.
Yes. So I've got a small supply at my house that I salvaged from a project I did,
Okay.
and then we have some from the floor joist that we kept in the Opera House in case we needed wood.
Yeah.
So I'm crossing my fingers, we have enough.
Okay.
The biggest thing would be some of those sections are 18 inches across, and there's no wood like that anymore.
Yeah.
So I don't know how we're going to handle those pieces. All right, so just more pressing matters here, I guess you might say. With the water tower project, we're putting in meters, as everybody knows. And we have to have an ordinance to specify how meters are distributed, you might say, and accounts are. Currently, it was kind of done, I don't even know why. It was like, this person has this policy, this person has this policy. The way we're doing it is barely legal. Once we put in metered water, it won't be. So, like, if we have a multiple unit building, and we'll have one meter on it, and multiples paying multiple accounts on that. Or we'll have multiple units, multiple buildings on one meter. And we can't do those. So we've got a pretty basic ordinance. I'm going to read the whole thing in its entirety. Each permanently occupied structure shall have one water meter. Each water meter shall have one water account. No permanently occupied structures may share a water meter account. Multiple unit structures shall have one water meter account. So this would, the multiple units would be like the school, you know, the manor. You know, there's 20 some units there.
Yeah.
They'll be on 1 meter, which is how they are right now. They're on 1 meter with 1 account, whereas the rental units downtown are on 1 meter, multiple accounts. And then also we have a few instances in town where people have rental locations, multiples on one property, and they have 1 meter that feeds them all. So,
So how do they bill?
well, that's what this is to address.
Some of this we just discovered when we started looking for water meters.
Uh-huh.
We had to locate all the water meters,
Yeah,
and we found a couple properties where there's 2 houses sharing 1 meter.
yeah, okay.
So,
Cause like down here where I used to own that duplex, there's 2 meters inside there.
Yeah.
You know, so you won't have, I mean, yeah, they'll probably change both of them, but they're both on, units are on separate meters.
Yep.
Cause we wanted it that way, to be fair.
And that's the way it should be,
Sure,
you know,
Sure.
because it's going to be based on usage.
yeah.
So,
So how are they gonna do that out of this Highland Manor?
well, that would be one
They're just gonna run it on 1 meter?
1 meter because it's one building.
Yeah, community
Yeah.
action.
Yeah, they'll get a 2-inch meter, I believe, is what they have out there.
Okay.
We have some residents that we're going to have to speak with as we go into the project to address the you know multiple buildings on having 1 meter. They're going to have to get multiple meters.
Sure.
So the multi-unit structures with 1 meter, that one's pretty easy since they already have 1 meter. We'll just have to change the billing. So thoughts, gentlemen?
I think it covers everything.
Thoughts, public? Any additional thoughts on it?
Well, as long as it's done like you want it to be fair.
Yeah.
Now, what do they do down here at the low-cost housing where the old school is?
Well,
Do they divide that up, you know, or do they pay the bill and just tell them when they move in, that's covered under their
yes,
costs? Isn't that the way they do it?
yes.
Yeah, that's what I figured. Yeah.
And this will protect it from somebody, let's say a board in the future going, oh, why didn't every unit have their own meter?
Yeah, right,
Because right now there's nothing in writing on how things are
sure,
meant to be done, and we have to have something in writing.
okay.
So I will motion to accept this ordinance. Let's be ordinance 2025 -01.
Accept.
20 seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
Now, as like Tony Smith was mentioning in the meeting minutes, we are working on an ordinance and policy for temporary, as it was brought up in the last meeting, of temporary housing arrangements. You're remodeling your house, you're a contractor in town, things like that. We've got an outline of an ordinance, but we've not discussed it. The wording's a little rough yet, so we are working on it. I just want to.
Okay.
That way, we'll have something. Again, it's just like the water meters. We'll have something in writing.
Yeah.
That is. Church and
Troy has found us a different police vehicle from the county
Oh,
that they're offering us at a really good price. What year is it, Troy? Do you remember?
It's 2013, I believe.
oh.
I was, to go a little bit more in depth with it, I was advised that the sheriff's office wanted to keep this vehicle because of how good it runs. But it's hard to justify keeping a 2013 and selling a 2018. Okay, so that's why it's the oldest one of the oldest vehicles in the fleet. That's why they're selling it. The lights alone on it, these cars were getting anywhere from $5,000 to $8,000 in lighting. This is coming with the vehicle, so just wanted to add that.
Okay.
Outside of anything else,
Is it an automobile or an SUV or?
it's a horse. It's an SUV. It's a Ford Explorer.
Oh, okay. I just wondered, yeah, because you talking, I see you're driving the old, you
Yeah.
know, cruiser there,
Mhm.
but I didn't know if it was like an SUV.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does that have an Ecotech in it?
What?
Or not an Ecotech, what do they call it?
No, there's no. I think it's just it's got a. If I'm not mistaken, I think it's a V6.
Okay.
It just doesn't have the Econo package in it or anything. It's not hybrid.
Is it all-wheel drive?
Yeah, I believe so. Yes.
Okay.
The police package, if I remember right, on the Explorer's got a beefed up engine and a couple other
Yeah,
things
the
over the
Oil
civilian.
cooler beefed up. You know, obviously I'm not going to be running this thing hard in this town. I'm not that guy. If I can shut it off, I shut it off. If I'm just sitting somewhere or whatever, like, there's only so many times you can drive around, hit every street in town, and, without getting dizzy. So, like I said, and work, I usually, if it's not like 0 degrees outside or not 110 degrees outside, I'll shut it down. So it won't see that much of runtime as much as possible. But it's, all of them are pretty good vehicles that they have. They assured me, both our maintenance guy, that takes care of, he's a reserve deputy that takes care of the vehicles, as well as the gentleman that was issued the vehicle, when he was working, student resource officer. They both assured me that this thing is tip top. It's had some things done to it, that, like the muffler system, $2,000 muffler system was put underneath it, brand new. It's got new tires, replaced it within the last 6 months. Everything, there's another piece that was replaced. I don't know if it's like an oxygen sensor or something that was replaced recently. So it's, as far as I know, it's tip top.
And the cost is
$1,500. You guys are getting this car for less than what the lights would cost.
Gee.
Yeah.
You get a 90-day warranty with it. Let's hope so.
How many miles is on it, Troy?
I don't know. I have to, when we can look at it, you can expect it to at least have 100 plus on it.
Yeah.
Probably in between 100 and 150,000 miles, I guarantee it.
Oh.
So.
But it's 4 years newer than what you're driving right now.
Yes, and I couldn't tell you how many miles are on this thing because it's over.
Yeah.
The only thing that concerns me is from 12 to 15, the all-wheel drive Explorers had a lot of transmission issues.
we're kind of there right now too on this one.
I don't disagree, but
Yeah,
Are-
that's
are you
You've
prepared
you've
to
been
put a
driving that
$5,000
little
transmission
to see how it is.
I haven't driven this car at all.
I kind of think that's where
This
we're
is
at now
demonstrated.
too.
They're not selling
I
anything.
know.
I don't
They're not-
care, I'm just,
They're
that's what I do every day, all day. is
explain a little something.
Work on vehicles.
Obviously, because of the price, they're not, the sheriff's office is not selling it to make money on it.
Correct.
At auction, they go from anywhere from $1,500 usually up to $3,000 or $4,000 depending on the condition, obviously.
Yeah.
If you would like to go take, I would suggest go take a look at it. I don't think they paid $7,000 for that thing.
Yeah.
Outside. Okay, without my opinion, I'm not talking bad about the last administration. I'm just saying they didn't ask my opinion whatsoever. I know the history on that car before it was sold. The gentleman that sold it, friend of mine, smiles when I mention it because Perrysville paid more for that car than Cayuga did when they purchased it off of Clinton City.
The new one, is it seen any accidents or anything you know of?
Fender benders, as far as I know. If any accident was on that vehicle, and that justified replacing that oxygen sensor or whatever it was. I can get that more in detail if you guys want. I would strongly suggest I can make an arrangement. You guys can take a look at it, go through it, give a check to them. I was advised if you guys decide to purchase it, just make it out to the sheriff's office, and, give it to Michael Camp, Sheriff Paul Camp. But, yeah, take a look at it, they cleaned it up, made it nice. The only thing we'll have to do is we'll have to transfer the radio from this car over to that, and put stickers on it.
Tony?
Yeah.
If there is that issue, what kind of cost would be involved with fixing it?
You're $3,000 to $8,000.
$3,000 to $8,000?
$3,000 to $8,000, depending on what goes wrong inside the transmission.
My opinion would be that I'm trying to figure out the best way to word this. We approve moving forward with it pending an inspection, our own inspection.
Our mechanic can look at it.
That,
Yeah.
that's fine,
Yeah.
but let me say this. It's probably perfectly fine. But in 2 years, it's gonna do a lot of sitting, it's gonna do a lot
No, Troy's gonna drive it. A lot.
of, a lot,
A lot.
back and
Yes.
forth to the
Lot of
gas
circles.
station.
Yes.
Like I said, the only thing that concerns me is that year range, the all-wheel drive transmissions, they had a ton of issues with them. And I'm guessing that one was probably not drove by grandma. It was,
No, it was originally in 2013, it was issued to a merit debit. And yeah, sometimes it'd start cold and 120 mile an hour to the coal hole down in Clinton, universal, okay? You're not getting a pristine car. What I will say,
don't disagree.
for $1,500,
Yeah.
I mean, I would honestly say probably inspecting it is a good thing. On saying that, if I was selling you that car, and for $1,500 and the car's, even though it's been, the condition it's in, what you're getting with it, the lights alone, even if you were to buy it $1,500 and the thing puked next week and you had to buy another car, you could take the lights off that thing, put it on there, and it would save you the money.
Well, and I'm still not sure that you wouldn't be money ahead even if the transmission went out. You put $5,000 in the transmission, you got $65 to
Yeah.
I don't have a
$70
$6
in the car.
Yeah.
I'm just saying,
Be prepared.
just everybody be aware, those transmissions were notorious for issues.
My only
So-
thought on that is, it's got enough miles on it. Hopefully, it's went through the issue problem. Those typically flared up around 40 to 50,000.
Sell him, he's there. Hook, line, and sinker.
Typically.
I don't have a say so in it other than, I would like another vehicle, a different vehicle. That being said, this is ultimately your guys' decision. I would take a look at it. I can arrange something between you and, Deputy John Benton, who's our car, he takes care of our fleet, and, set up a discussion.
I'm taking Friday off. Can I look at it Friday?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll go down Friday, because I'm gonna take Friday off to help Turquoinis.
Okay.
I will make sure, Deputy Benton knows.
Just shoot me a text and tell me what time works best for me
Okay.
and where I'm going. Am I going to the sheriff's department?
I'll either have you go sheriff's department or, sometimes, I'll have him have it there. I'll just
Okay.
bring it up to the sheriff's office,
Okay.
it'll be easier.
I'll come down and take a quick look at it. If it shakes out, I would say we just move forward.
Well, let's do that. I will motion that pending inspection, we move forward with the purchase of the vehicle.
Second.
Tony Smith seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
Alright.
Look over it really well.
It's gonna break. If it didn't, I wouldn't have a job.
Yeah, everything does.
Yeah.
The last thing that I know of we need to discuss is currently the church and the Legion do not pay for water. We need to decide if we're going to continue that arrangement. We have to officially decide if we're going to continue that arrangement or if we're going to make them pay for water.
What says you, town?
We don't hardly use any down at the church, so it's, to me, that's a moot point for the church. And pretty much here at the Legion too. I mean,
Kinda
even
what
at
we
the
thought.
dinners and stuff, there's hardly any water used, dishwater,
That,
toilet flushing.
Toilet flush.
that was our thought also.
So,
We don't disagree, but
We have to put it in
we
writing.
have to put it in writing, or we need to put it in writing.
I don't think it's really costing the town anything really.
I mean, it's
So,
probably, what, 100 gallons each a month?
Not
If
even
it was
that.
$100 a year, I'd be surprised.
Yeah, I wouldn't say 100 a month. I'd say, I don't know. The toilets probably only flushed less than half a dozen times a week. So
Yeah. And it's, what was it, a gallon?
0.002 or something like that is what our rate
I mean, it'd be hard for them to use $100 for the water a year.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
it'd cost us more to send them a bill than it would be.
I mean, no matter what, they're gonna get a meter, just for monitoring purposes, for leak detection mainly.
right.
I guess we could put in a, 1,000 gallon a year is free after that. They pay that way if somebody decided to fill a swimming pool or something off the.
Hose.
Yeah, I mean,
That'd be a fail safe. That'd be
yeah, put a gallon per year. I don't know what that, or a gallon per month. I don't know.
I mean, even 1,000 gallons a month is not much water.
No.
We have houses leaking
I
that.
was gonna say we probably use 1,000 a week doing
Yeah.
laundry.
The average home is between 4,000 and 5,000 gallons a month.
Okay, so
I will motion that we don't charge, however, we put a 1,000 gallon per month limit on it.
Or you could just leave it like that, and if there is, starts to be an issue, then readdress it.
Yeah. All right, then we don't charge the Legion or the church.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
It's on right there.
It's simpler that way.
Yeah. All right. I have no further business that I'm aware of.
Is there any updates on the water? On what's happening?
We enter bidding at the end of this month.
June.
the updates are the same updates from
It's
last
not-
week.
It is, that's right, it's May.
And there'll be new updates next week that are the same from a month ago.
Yeah, unfortunately, for about the next 3 months,
It's just a circle.
it's going to be a lot of us getting phone calls of, "Hey, I sent you paperwork," or
Yeah.
things like
So
that.
it's basically you guys just getting all the ducks in a row type thing.
We're
Yes.
trying.
Yeah.
We're trying.
Um,
But they're scattered.
August or September is when we'll know something.
We will be talking to some residents about getting some temporary easements on their property, just so if they need to put a pile of dirt there or something when they're replacing some lines.
That's
We have a list.
yeah, it's good to bring that up. I'll probably be getting those Wednesday. I think they're being mailed out tomorrow. I should have them Wednesday. And it's mainly along the alley behind Jackson. Property owners there, and they're worried about them putting an excavator track on somebody's property,
Messing
or
up somebody's beautiful lawn.
dirt or something. For the most part, our existing alleyway, and then how much distance the town has on the other side of the alley actually covers basically up to most of the buildings. So I'm hopeful that nobody has an issue with it. These easements they're going to be good for 30 months, I think is what she said. I can't do the math in my head how many days it is. So it'll cover the whole project. I don't know. the
They
distances.
will repair anything they mess up.
Did you look to see if there's a loop around?
I was just getting ready to bring that up.
I have the prints. Mike dropped them off at my house the other day, so I have.
I'm
them.
just curious.
Yeah, I do have it, and we need to see if we can get somebody to remake those prints. They're in bad shape, or get copies of them. I'm not sure what to do.
And if that's
They're
not
those
in
big
on the
ones.
water
I
project,
don't know who does that anymore.
Eric is also going to be quoting looping some. So we're not gonna be done looping lines, we just aren't gonna loop them all through. union wages.
Okay.
Yeah. Cause what they were thinking about, you know, when you go down Walnut and then you go down the last street to the back there where Barnes is live, they were thinking about, you know, at one time if they could get the right of way, did they ever get the right of way
We-
to loop that in?
No, we took that out of the project.
Oh, did they? Okay. I know you probably won't be doing much on water lines anyway, cause they replaced that one that goes down on the north side of Walnut. Probably the only thing you'll be doing is just changing meters,
Is
I
that
suppose.
out?
Cause they backfilled that pipe with all sand anyway, so that's a good thing. And is that what you're gonna backfill over where you have to tear out the lines? Is that what they're gonna use again, is sand? to
That's
backfill?
above my pay grade.
Huh?
That's above my pay grade.
They generally do use a sand or a pea gravel, but
Something that won't be harsh, you know.
yeah, I'm not the contractor, so I
Yeah,
couldn't
no
tell you.
idea.
Stop, or you'll stop.
Oh, the other question I got is, have you guys already, I noticed there's a few potholes that's been filled down by the feed mill. Is the town done filling potholes?
Well, that was my last thing to bring up was, if you know of a pothole, please don't put it on Perrysville Watch and expect us to find it. I'm not even a member of Perrysville Watch.
Oh,
Contact one of us directly and tell us specifically where the pothole is.
okay.
Like the ones over by the grain elevator, I cruise most of the town. That little stretch is a stretch I never go on. And if somebody hadn't said on the cleanup day exactly where that was at, never would have known to look there.
Sure.
A lot of the roads in town are the county roads, and I
Yeah.
talked to RJ. They're supposed to have a crew out here this week to address the potholes on Depot, and
Oh,
there was one other I talked to him about, and I don't remember which one it is. But the county does have an app that you
okay.
can get on to the county website,
Yeah,
and there's a portal to get through, and you can report the pothole
okay.
right there, and then they'll come out and fix it. So if we know about it on a county road, I can report it and get
Yeah,
the road crew out here to fix it. But if it's a town road, let us know, because we have extra patch material, we can get them fixed.
Yeah, I just put 7 bags of patch in the garage. So, I mean, let me know. I filled the ones by the grain elevator. I can go out and fill the rest of them. Although I hate, took forever to get this stuff off my hands, but
yeah.
I'll wear gloves next time.
That-
I'll wear my hands now, so. Good.
Okay.
Do you know of any more potholes that need to be filled, or
Yeah, just a couple.
where at?
On Meadow Lawn, just down by right before you get to my house, going south on Meadow Lawn.
I'll take a swing
It's
down
just
that way.
too shallow, as I think it might be the garbage truck guy backing down that road, and I don't know if he kinda, you know.
Wherever they turn their
oversteers or what.
Yeah.
I-
If it's below 2 inches thick, the patch stuff really doesn't work.
Yeah,
So it's got to be about 2 inches thick, or that patch will work.
yeah, they're about 2 inches.
So they,
I mean, you have to take a broom, sweep it
Well,
out,
yeah.
you know how it is, but if it's got a good tar,
oh, this stuff is
or it'll
sticky.
stick, you know,
Yeah.
but it's not, just two small ones about like so.
When I get a chance, I'll get down there.
About like 2 5-gallon buckets, you know, the roundness of what is that size.
Now, the ones by the grain elevator, I mean, they were deep. But,
Yeah,
and it's
they-
from the trucks
they-
coming out, and the one you can see is right where they come out and turn the wheels, and it just
Yeah,
ate right through the pavement. So,
Yeah,
I mean,
they
they're
get-
probably going to end up right potholes again real quick.
yeah, those get deep down
Yeah.
there, yeah, you're right, these are only probably a couple inches. Nothing major, but you're just kind of annoying.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else?
And, well, I was wondering too, can you tell me, the board, and probably all of you have noticed your tax receipts, why is the town tax went up drastically?
We don't control that.
I know, but I was just wondering
The
if you,
town tax.
if you knew why.
No
I haven't
idea.
heard, I'll have to go probably to the courthouse and ask them why it's been raised.
Yeah,
And I didn't know what, if you guys knew or not.
suppose that's the money they give the towns, but I won't know
They don't
until
tell
next
us where
year.
the money's gonna be going or.
Are you
spent.
talking about on your property taxes?
Yeah, property tax.
On property, I didn't even look, cause my property taxes went down again this year.
Yeah, mine went down too, so.
I
But nobody likes a bragger. I'll let you know.
Every year. Since
Again,
we have lived
again,
there, my
I'm gonna
taxes have went
reiterate
down
this.
every year.
Mine used to go down a little, but now.
2,500?
Well, some of us don't live in.
See, I think that it's for the first couple of years when they
All the
screwed me out of
I don't know,
homestead
I was
exemption.
built in
Of course, they always use that excuse trending.
1984.
19.
They go by trending.
I mean, it's not built nowhere, so.
Well,
Hey,
That'd be the treasurer?
Nice.
Auditor's office, call the
The
auditor's office.
Auditor's office?
The auditor's office.
Talk to who?
Auditor's
Auditor's
office.
Oh, yeah. Oh, well. I did, but I thought, well, you know, maybe they're gonna do something with the fire station or something. I didn't know if they was gonna add on and, cause they got the ambulance, right?
Right. They also, you might also speak with the assessor's office. They should have sent you a notice as to why, if they increase the value of the property taxes and stuff, the assessor's the one who usually regulates that. Go to the assessor, you can go to courthouse, auditor's office and assessor's office all on the same floor, second floor.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, I've been down there a time or two years ago, but I hadn't lately, you know, but, yeah, and I didn't know. But, yeah, I mean, you know, some years they went down a little. But then this year I thought, wow, maybe they're gonna start a factory next door, you know, beyond the water tower. But something I couldn't figure out why, you know, unless this fire station was gonna be added on to.
Unfortunately, we have zero say in taxes.
And somebody at Covington Park, they want to know if there's any veterans down here. They want input from any veteran down here about the old cabin up at Covington Park. Now, I don't know what kind of information they want from a veteran,
There was
but
4 veterans that built that. Or they were veterans, but it was just 4 guys that built that. One of them was from down in this area, but I can't remember who it was. That's probably why they're looking for him.
oh, that's why they maybe want their input. What they're
Yeah,
gonna do.
because they made their own cement to go in between the logs,
Oh,
and it's probably due to be done again just to upkeep on it.
oh,
But I don't.
So-
I'll ask my wife and see who that was.
not the original build, but an upgrade or?
The mud is made out of like creek clay,
Okay.
and
Yeah.
they
So they're not talking, they're just talking about the renovation of it. They're
Yeah.
not talking about the original build.
yeah, the original build, and they're probably trying to figure out how to make that mud again, because
oh,
those guys made that mud themselves out of creek clay.
oh, okay.
Original
That's-
build was
that
a
sounds-
lot of years ago.
Sorry, the renovation. Sorry, when they renovated it. Sorry.
It was old when I was a kid.
Ooh,
Yeah, the guys that renovated it. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, the chinking.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, they're wanting to talk to whoever had part in that, maybe
Gotcha.
if they're still living.
I have no idea.
I don't know, because that's been years ago,
Yeah.
long time ago.
I'm just glad they're not gonna tear it down. They were discussing that.
Yeah.
Okay, any other business? I will motion to adjourn.
Okay.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Get that camera.